I'm really excited to introduce Danielle. She has been a longtime friend, and I've just watched her grow over the years, and it's been really fun to see her just knock out her dreams. So, following your dream in the face of all things holistic is what Danielle's going to share with us today. So, she focuses on helping her tribe and like-minded individuals achieve their optimum health and wellness goals holistically and authentically. As a holistic health coach and yoga instructor, Danielle works with people on an individual basis or in a class to identify small integrative steps that they can take to create a natural, wholesome, healthy lifestyle by setting personal goals, participating in fluid body movements, and a healthy life. She's not just focused on diet and exercise, but in all areas of life, creating a harmonized balance between mind, body, and spirit. And I am so excited to introduce Danielle Schares, the owner of the Holistic Hippie Wellness Studio and yoga instructor, whose motto is to be light, be love, and be the change. So, Danielle, are you ready to go, girl?
I am. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Thanks. So this is like my first presentation ever. And to do it on Zoom is like, whew, it's a little relief that I'm not up in front of a big old group or audience live. I get really nervous public speaking. But yeah, thank you, Annie, for having me here today. I am I'm super passionate about wellness and finding that healthy balance within ourselves, like Annie introduced, not just diet and exercise, it's balancing and having those, healthy thoughts, healthy just routines. And then being able, when things aren't so balanced, being able to recognize it and pull it back into check. So I am a yoga instructor here in Jessup at my yoga studio that literally just opened like 4 weeks before all the COVID closures started happening, which was like, I kind of had to take a step back and I had to self-reflect and do my journaling and just be like, okay, God, why did you hand this to me? And then take it away. So it's been really hard, but it's also been some really great time to self-reflect and to grow. And then in turn, being able to kind of turn that around and help my tribe, my yogis, to do that as well. So I have been doing the Facebook Live yoga classes, so those are available. And I have started recording, I haven't shared them, but I've started recording some some guided meditations, which I am super excited to get out there and then maybe do some journal prompts. But I've been teaching for about 2 years now. Before I started in my studio, I was teaching at our church, a local church here. And having my studio this has been like a dream, like a 3 or 4 year dream of mine to open up. And the opportunity was there and I took it and I'm running with it right now. So it's been awesome. It's been hard. It's been emotional, but like I kind of touched on, it's super important to recognize all of those emotions, all of those feelings, and being able to have control over them. I was in the Air Force for 4 years. I deployed. And I think that's when I really discovered yoga, was when I was in the military, and I kind of dabbled in it a little bit, went to a few classes, and some days it wasn't for me, some days it was for me, and sometimes I felt like I didn't fit in, but after my deployment, I revisited yoga and realized how helpful it was. I had a lot of anxieties and a lot of depression after my deployment, and it helped pull me back in and gain control of my thoughts a lot better. So that's definitely something that I have carried on with me, and I'm able to teach my students. It feels weird because I'm still a student too to say that, but individuals who come into my class, I'm able to help teach them how to gain that control back. And I think right now is such an important time, more than any, with everything going on right now, is we have to take control of ourselves and our emotions. And what better way and better time to do it than now when things are slow. We have the extra time on our hands to sit and journal and to think and, better control those thoughts. And of course, moving our body, that's very important for that balance. So I think I feel like I'm rambling. But I don't think it really matters what is going on. If you're passionate about something, you have to just find a way to grab it and to go with it. And you're gonna face hardships, you're gonna face self-doubt and worry, and it's all part of that journey, I think. I really wanted to have my studio last year, but things happened and my path kind of weaved and bumped and bounced and knocked me on my butt a couple times. And I think that's why I wasn't quite ready to start my studio or open up my studio. So we have to really just take a step back when we're so far and so deep into this journey. We got to take that step back and see kind of the bigger picture. Like, why is it taking me so long to reach this goal? Or why do I not feel completely connected to this? Well, it might not be the right thing right now. It just might not be the right time. Preston, success, I missed that, sorry.
He said success isn't a destination, success is in the journey.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it forms us into more, well-rounded individuals and experts in, whatever area we're at. So that's my little plug. Like, don't give up on your dreams, and it might take a little bit longer and it might look a little different than somebody else's journey, but it's yours. So freaking own that. Like, nobody's story is the same as yours or mine, and I think that's just what makes us beautiful individuals and people who make up this crazy, chaotic world. But yeah, make sure you guys are moving your bodies. It's so easy just to lay on the couch and stay in our sweats and our pajamas because it's so cozy. But make sure you're moving your body. You have to nourish with, water and nutritious meals, and getting that heart rate up. We know that. A lot of us here are actually from, we're in wellness challenges together. So a lot of people are already doing that, and I think that's great, but it's easy to get into a mundane routine when times are so slow right now. So don't forget about that.
Danielle, there's a question. How did you find balance in pursuing your dream of opening a studio and raising kids?
Yeah, that's really hard. I think it's just motivated me because I want to have more freedom and the flexibility to be home with my kids. But they're both in school. But I want to be able to pick them up after school. I want to be able to, volunteer in their classrooms. I want to be present in their life. And I just felt like, what better way to do that than, you know, opening my own studio and being my own boss. So definitely making my list, my target list of, you know, what's important right now. What are the most important things that need to be done now? So it's just prioritizing things that are important to you and to that dream or that task at hand, what you're doing.
That's so true. I think when I don't even know how long ago we met, Danielle, but it was a while ago. And I think one of the first you were talking about going back to school, and then you went back to school, and now you have a yoga studio. And I've only lived in this town for less than 10 years, and I think halfway through is when I met you. So that has been quite a journey. I mean, you went back to school, that was a big step, and you had kids, right, at the time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really hard. A lot of sacrifices and a lot of people supporting me, between, you know, my husband and my mom. She has taken, I don't know how many shifts of watching the boys and stepping up. And I guess I get it from her. Like, she's driven too. I know she's on here and she's probably like bawling or something, but she's really driven too. And she's very supportive of my dreams, and my husband has become as well. And it's just a matter of finding that balance and respecting each other. And my husband's a farmer, so I just know right now is a busy time for him, so it's important for me to be home. And, you know, then that's when my lists start to shift. Like, what are things that I can be doing right now from home with my kids while my husband is working and farming and that. So it's just like a constant, like, back and forth. I wouldn't say a dance at all, because it's like there's nothing graceful about it, but it gets done.
Yeah, and that's just how it has to happen, right? I think sometimes we make it look, it's like the goose or the duck who's swimming on the pond, right? You're looking so graceful on top, but you're paddling like hell underneath, right? So
Yeah.
So your mom is here, just so you know. She's here.
Yeah.
She loves you. She's an amazing woman, by the way, so I'm not surprised how amazing you are. One of the other questions that came in that says, what would you say to women who have goals and dreams but put them on the back burner because they have put their kids and their family and their job first?
That is a really good question. That's a really good question. When it when that passion burns hot enough inside you to make you move, that's when you know you have to move. Like, and you're gonna know what works for you and your family, and you're gonna make the sacrifices that you need to make. You're gonna make things work and find that balance. But when it burns hot enough and that's all you think about, like this yoga studio, like I said, it's been like 3 or 4 years in the making, and it's just, there's days I'm like, God dang it, why can't we just do this right now? It's not necessarily the time, but you're gonna find a way to make it happen, because you're gonna want it that bad. So it doesn't have to look perfect. It doesn't have to be put together perfect in this little box and wrapped up, but you're gonna find a way to make it work, and don't give up on it. Like, it might not happen tomorrow, but you'll make it happen.
So true. Such good advice. And I think, you know, it takes time. First you have to dream the dream, and then you have to know what it takes to make the dream come true, and then you start making steps towards the dream, and then finally, when the timing is right, as you said, and you start burning with that passion, you just take it and run. That's actually what's been happening to me since I retired from my regular time job a week and a half ago, and now you just have that freedom to just kind of move into the next stage. So So how do you know when the time is right? How do you know when to take that leap? Gosh, it's just really, you have to kind of get centered, right? That's what you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I haven't gotten here by myself. I have had so many mentors, some of them on here, and just open, honest conversation with these people. And they've really helped me narrow down like what is important, what isn't important. I used to think like I was really a money and numbers person, and I was really driven by money. And you kind of have to put things in perspective. Like right now where I'm at as a yoga instructor, I am not making a whole lot of money, and that's okay. I'm sharing my dream with others and sharing this passion with others, and that's fulfilling to me. That's enough to me. So you're just gonna know when you feel like you're on the edge of that cliff and like your toes are starting to do this on the edge. Somebody's gonna say something, or an opportunity is gonna come along, and that's gonna be the kick and the push that you need. So I feel it might not be a road sign right in front of your face, but
Yeah.
it'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about timing and it, leaning into yourself, into your faith, into your, you know, your tribe, and just really knowing, hey, now is my time to shine. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really proud of you. You've done such a great job and
Thank
so
you.
amazing. So keep shining, keep moving, keep taking steps. I put your information in the chat. How would you like people to connect with you?
So I'm on Facebook as Holistic Hippie. You can find my Facebook business there. I'm also on Instagram. That's the best. Otherwise, I have a website too. It's holistichippiewellness.com. Check me out there.
Mm-hmm.
We've got our memberships up online, but you can't purchase one right now. Because of the COVID.
One
But
of the questions was, do you have your videos, your yoga videos online that people can do or use?
yeah. Yep. So my Facebook lives are recorded and they are saved on my Holistic Hippie Facebook page, as well as there is an option to subscribe for an online only membership. So I've been putting those videos up on there. So
Okay.
yeah, check out my site.
And I've been to Danielle's classes at the wee hours of the morning, which is when she likes to teach them. So it's good they're recorded if you're not a wee hour person. But they're amazing. And it's not just your typical yoga class. She just does a really good job of integrating a lot of great movements and centering. So check her out, Holistic Hippie. She's amazing. Yay. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.